What is going on, Lucid fans? Welcome back to Financial Journey. Happy Friday to everyone. We are going through quite the dip. I want to break it down why we're going down as much as we are. Over and above that, Warren did come out with a video that I find a little bit more interesting, so I do want to touch on some aspects that he does bring up. Ultimately, how Lucid might fail and die in 2023. So again, a little bit more of a FUD alert. So let me know your thoughts on all of this in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up. It's always greatly appreciated. With that, let's get right to it. Live ticker is going at the very bottom of the screen, currently down 5.3%, 5.9 million for volume, and that's within the first 1 hour of the trading day. So that's always good for a Friday. 146,000 shares being purchased by institutions on the secondary market, which in reality is a little bit low, but still it is a Friday. You can see as of right now on the intraday chart, we are on a very, very big sell-off, and that is largely linked to retail sales. So we did have another economic event that did come out as far as data points. Retail sales on a month-over-month comparison, the forecast was 0.2. We came in flat. So once again, another crack in the economy, or a potential crack is starting to form. Definitely goes to show this is now the second back-to-back retail sales that is a little bit lower. So coming from a consumer standpoint, I've been a very big advocate saying consumers are out there still spending money. You can tell that based on the non-farm payroll and jobless claims and things like that. Data is still coming out and it's very strong coming from consumers. But like I said, over the last couple, it's not negative per se, but it's starting to kind of form like that. So it's definitely something to keep in mind in the bigger picture. So let me know your thoughts on that in the comments below. But Warren did come out with a video. I watched it, listened to it. There is some valid points, as even when technically this even came out as far as number of vehicles that they produced in Q3. So in case you guys do not know, 2,282 vehicles were produced, and ultimately it does work out to be roughly 1,400 vehicles were actually delivered. But overall, it does go to show, and I did question immediately, that there's give or take around 1,100 or even possibly 1,200 vehicles that have not been delivered. So where are they being stored? Bear's Workshop is doing a phenomenal job, but by no means is there 1,200 vehicles lying around in their lot. This is why I have been stressing we need to ask very good questions during the Q3 earnings, especially more so about a possible storage location or whatever it might be, ESS. Those are some very good questions. We do not care what they eat for lunch or what they're doing for the next 5 years. Again, those are definitely good questions, but not the best questions that we can ask. This is definitely something that caught my attention, whether it be fit and finish problems, because I know Lucid is really wanting to have high quality vehicles being distributed and kind of delivered, versus Rivian, they had a very massive recall. So that's definitely very damaging to a company, and Lucid's trying their very best to avoid that. But even right here, Warren did bring up this exact same thing. So I'm going to play a little part from him, and more so at the tail end, and where he does say that Lucid is going to die in 2023. So stay tuned.
If you bought Lucid Motors early and you believed, you bought it at $40, $50, $60 a share, I think you need to be more critical when you see these presentations.
I was critical of Lucid from September of 2020 when they did their reveal. I was critical of them at their SPAC merger. I called this a long time ago. In the words of Stephen Mark Ryan, Lucid Motors, the death watch is on. I don't think it's this year. I think in 2023, Lucid Motors dies. They don't die. They're going to run out of cash. This is the death of Lucid Motors, is when they run out of cash. And the question is, where do they get cash? Who's going to give them cash? Is somebody going to buy them? What would you pay for this company? You're not going to pay $13 a share for this company.
Okay, so just kind of elaborating on some points. In this video, I do completely agree with him that Lucid does need to answer this. I know they're not a transparent company by any means, but they definitely need to answer where this 1,200 vehicles is actually located. Is it fit and finish? Is it just transportation costs? Because more so on a CPI data, if you're looking at the finite details, transportation costs have gone up ninefold. They've gone up quite a lot. So is Lucid just trying to save on delivery costs, or are they just trying to compile it and have Q4 look absolutely epic? They definitely need to answer. So I completely do agree with Warren. I don't like to agree with him on a lot of cases, but this one they definitely do need to answer. As far as them dying in 2023, That is completely wrong. And just looking at the basic balance sheet, as I've been saying, they have 4.29 billion in cash equivalent short-term investments, 278 million in long-term investments, and 2.24 billion in debt. And 2.2 of that is very low-cost financing up until 2026. So when it comes down to it, if you take that out of the mix, they virtually have no debt, arguably, of course. And this is all info from Q2. So on November the 8th, we will get a little bit more updated figures, but definitely goes to show that it does keep in line with what exactly Sherry and Peter were saying, and been saying over the last couple of quarters as well, that they have enough money up until the tail end of 2023. I do predict, give or take, especially on how much they are burning, it should give them around Q3. This is when they will need money. But he does say, what are people going to do? Are they going to buy it at 13? Well, in reality, if someone does do a shelf offering, which Lucid did, they can do a limited amount of actual offerings within that 3-year time period. So if they really wanted, if we are, for argument's sake, at $11, well, they put it for $10.50. A little bit more of a premium, so incentivizing people to take this and give them money. So he says, is anyone going to buy this? No matter what, even if it is at $7, $6, anything, even the most garbage stocks, even junk bonds out there, there is buyers. So as far as Lucid dying, definitely by no means is it going to die. That's my own 2 cents. Of course, if they are going to be diluting a little bit more shares, it would be advantageous if it would have been done at $40, $50 and things like that. A little bit less damaging on the actual investors versus if they do it at, for instance, $10 or $11. You guys get what I'm saying. If you guys ever have any questions, let me know in the comments below. I'd be more than happy to elaborate or discuss anything that you need to know. But definitely Warren is completely wrong about that aspect. So let me know your thoughts on that. If you maybe do think that Lucid is going to die in 2023, I don't know why you'd be watching this video, but in reality, it could be, you never know, right? I am not a financial advisor on a side note, so these videos are for entertainment purposes only. So again, something could happen in the future that could cause a little bit more damage, but until Lucid is actually around that $5 range, that is where things get very serious and very real. So there's a lot of stipulation. If a stock does get to below the $5 mark for 10 consecutive days, it is considered a penny stock. So a lot of institutions can't necessarily hold it on margin or in specific accounts. So in that case, yes, it gets a little bit more worrisome coming from investor standpoint if we get to the $5 mark. But that is just a complete separate topic. That is not related to funding or whatever it is. So he's talking about the death of Lucid, and in that case, he is very wrong. But as I mentioned, they definitely do need to address this whole kind of discrepancy as why they're not delivering. Is it, like I said, fit and finish? They just haven't announced it yet, because even more so when it came down to the first fit and finish issue, it came out as a rumor, as Lucid stuff typically does. We just have to digest it to see if it's real or not. And unfortunately, in the Q1, I believe it was in the Q1 earnings, they did say that they were encountering fit and finish problems. So whether that might be another situation that Lucid does encounter, because also keep in mind during the Tesla earnings, it recently cited supply chain issues out of China. So that might be hurting Lucid a little bit right now, and they just haven't announced it yet, because as we already know, Lucid isn't the most transparent company. So in the end though, I definitely am still diamond handing. I know Lucid is going to do a lot of good things, and even regardless, if you look at the produced numbers, it goes to show that they have the ability and they are really ramping the hell up. So definitely goes to show that Q4 is going to be epic. I'm very excited for that, and even more so just Q3 as well. I'm very excited just to get a little bit more clarity. So let me know your thoughts on that. We are in a little bit more of a sell-off, like I said, because of this negative data that did come out. And as of right now, November, I believe it is the 2nd, that is when the Feds are going to be making their next decision rate. And I think right now the estimate is 75 basis points. So that's something as well to add on top of all the other fears that we do have. But hopefully everyone's having an amazing Friday thus far and does have a very good weekend ahead of them. So don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe, as always greatly appreciated. If you do like my channel and support the growth, take a look at my memberships, link in the description below, or just hit the join button at the bottom of the screen. With that, I appreciate you guys watching. Let's all make a lot of money on Lucid.